Hey, welcome to the channel, team. Man, I am stoked to see you. Hope that y'all are doing well. And I have a two-part series I want to do for you for why I say yes and why I say no to dudes appearing before the promotion board. Hey, if that's what you're into, whether it's professional development, military news, and you want to stay up to date on some future content, make sure you subscribe to the channel and click that notification bell so that you can do just that. All right, so we do have a lot of content on how to prepare for a promotion board or for a competition board. So you can go check out the playlist if you'd like to do that. And in this one, I want to kind of break things down, because at the end of the day, this is what it all comes down to, right? Why do board members say yes? Why do we recommend a go? Why do we recommend a no-go? And in this one, I'm going to start off with a positive. So I want to tell you what it is that I'm looking for. This is just Stoker's, perspective. This is just from my foxhole. Why do I say yes to people appearing before a promotion board or a competition board, right? So here we go. So when somebody walks in, it's all about, I talk about the 2-minute drill, right, all the time. And really that first few minutes sets the stage, but it's not a guarantee. But you need to rack and stack and make sure that you're prioritizing those first few minutes. How you knock on the door, how you report, how you march, how you execute face movements, how your uniform looks. You have a fresh haircut. And if I'm answering yes to these things, then you're stacking yourself up right. How do you say the creed of the non-commissioned officer or the soldier's creed? Do you know the Army values? Do you know your general orders? How does your biography come out of your mouth? Is it with confidence, like you know you? Right? The more that you have in this favor in the first few minutes, the easier it's going to be for you to overcome some challenges and adversity later on in the board. After you start answering questions, this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for some confidence that you know what you're talking about. Yes, I want you to answer all the questions right. Yeah, I do. But more than that, I want to know that you have some depth of knowledge, right? That there's some layering in what you know. That it's not just the cliff notes. It's not just the study guide that you know. I need to know that you know how to take care of the soldiers who are in your charge. And so there are a few subject areas, man, that you have to kind of get right. So if you get these right, you're going to be setting yourself up for success. You can't get leadership wrong, right? You have to get leadership right. You have to get counseling right. You have to get those two areas right, man. You have to know and be prepared to answer every question right. If I ask you about the leadership requirements model, man, you need to be able to just regurgitate, minutes of dialogue about what that thing says. You should know it. This is what you're trying to say, that here I am, select me for promotion to become a leader of soldiers or a leader of non-commissioned officers. Man, if you don't know leadership, and you may very well know it, man, and that's the thing. You might know leadership, but if you can't convey to the board members, if you can't convey to me that you know leadership and counseling, I got nothing for you, man. I might be a little bit harder on some dudes than some of my peers. I can admit that. But you have to get those two areas right. And if you get those two areas right, but you kind of mess up a couple other areas, that's not that big of a that's not a deal breaker for me. That's not a deal breaker. But I need you to get those two areas right. If you say, I don't know, I'm beyond protection or special operations, like whatever, bro. But can you lead soldiers? Can you take care of them and their families? Can you take care of the mission? That's what we're looking at. That's what we're talking about. I scrub ERBs or SRBs for everybody who comes in and appears before the board. I take my red ink and I start writing down on this thing. And what I'm looking at, these are things that the areas that give you a go, and they put some credit in your account, if you will. And you need as much credit in your account as you can take, because you're going to mess up on something. So do you have enough credit in your account to overcome when I start drawing out, right? Because if you don't, then that's how you're going to get a no-go. So things that I'm looking at on an SRB, what's your GT score? Is it below a 110? If it is, I'm probably going to talk to your sponsor about that before you even walk in. But I need to know that you know how to take care of that for yourself and for the soldiers in your charge, because having a 110 or higher opens up more doors of opportunity for you and for those who are in your charge. Your assignment history, Section 9, was it updated prior to coming to the board? Does it read in plain English? Do you have all your months in? Did somebody spend the time with you to get that done right? Now, you may need other people's assistance, but it's your responsibility because it's your record, not theirs. So take some dadgum pride in who you are and how you present yourself. How many schools have you been to? If you've been in for more than 2 years and you haven't been to a school, there's something going on and I want to know about it. Again, I may have more of this conversation with your sponsor than with you, but that tells me something. When you can't even get to a basic Army school, right? You can't get to CLS, you can't get to combatives, you can't get to something in 2 years. I mean, come on. Now that might be a little out of your control. So tell me, how many correspondence hours do you have complete? If you have more than 200 hours of correspondence hours and you're a specialist, that tells me that you're not waiting. Right? It tells me that you're not waiting until you become a specialist promotable to start worrying about trying to get promoted. What's your rifle qualification score? What's your APFT score, or soon to be your ACFT score? But at the end of the day, what kind of shape are you in? I put all of these things in, and none of them are necessarily ranked higher than another. It's a total, I hate to say total concept or total soldier concept, because that's too cliche. But it is a total package, right? I want to know all of you holistically. And the more of this that you have in your credit, right? The first few minutes of how you come in and you just knock it out of the ballpark, right? How well your SRB tells your story, how well your sponsor tells your story. There's so much credit in your account that you can handle, that when I go in and I pull a thread and I start pulling it, and I reach in for another one and I pull that one and I pull this one, you can handle it, so long as you don't lose your confidence. And that's where that's why that's important. Because believe me, man, if you demonstrated that right out the gate, right? In those first few minutes, you demonstrated to me like you are not ready for this. You're not ready to be a non-commissioned officer, right? Your jacket's too big, your pants are too short, your everything is just all 50 pounds and shades of jacked up. You haven't had a haircut in 4 weeks. I'm obviously going to say no. I don't care if you mess up. I'm going to get worked up over you. You're not worth my time. I don't care if you lose your confidence. Now, if I'm in a really good mood, right, I've had a lot of coffee that morning, I might have some fun with you. First sergeant's got to have fun too. But the more you set yourself up for success, if you just can maintain your bearing, right? If you don't talk with your eyes, especially now that you're probably wearing a mask, right? And I can see, I can see all those facial expressions, man. Don't do that. So if you can maintain your bearing through the process of getting leaned on, right, that's all. I'm just leaning on you a little bit. Can you handle it? Can you push back just a scotch without pushing back too much? So I'm going to say yes. Hey, I hope the content of this one, that you got something out of it. If so, make sure you smash that like button and leave some comments down below so that we can continue to keep this conversation rolling and we can build a community that's actually worth something, right? And if you haven't already done so and you want to stay up to date on some future content, make sure you subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell so you can do just that. Now, in the very next episode, we're going to talk about why I say no. So until then, man, until then, you stay out there, you keep grinding, and you stay stoked. No, what do you have now? Stop eating those. Stop eating that. All right, you got that? You're gonna. Hey, why are you being so weird? You, on the other hand, what do you eat? You're so full of it. Hey, you have a toy. What do you have now? What? What? Oh my God, dog. What you need to do is you need to rack and stack everything that you're doing coming in. Hey, can we not eat the scissors? All right.